see where you want to be and what roads in between. Then ask your soul to take you there so you may live your dream. Well, why not use this lifetime to serve your fellow man? Why not reach out with a helping hand? Reach out and up and towards the sky for the strength you need. Your soul will keep on trying even if first you don't succeed. I say pull over on the side of the road, put your life in park. Take out that road map, see where you are, see where you want to be and what roads are in between. Then ask your soul to take you there so you may live your dreams.
When I chose my talk title this week, Bo had another song picked out, and I went, I know you've got a whole bunch in there. Let's see what fits this talk. And this one fits so perfectly. Take out your roadmap. See where you are, where you want to be, and ask your soul to take you there. Today's talk is your GPS, your inner GPS. So we all have cars and phones, don't we, that have a GPS on them, right? Global positioning system, all these satellites up there keeping track of us. And we trust and guide that. We jump in our car, we punch in our destination, the directions come up to get us from here to there, point A to point B, from where I am to where I want to go. All I have to do, my only job, is to follow the voice. So about a week ago, I was at a regional conference, a Unity regional conference. And I came out of the conference, got in my car, and punched my destination. I punched in, it looked really quick, Unity of Merritt Island came up, and I punched it in. And I started driving, and I hadn't even gone a mile. And my GPS is saying, take this road south to Miami. And I went, oh, that's not right. What did I do? Punch in Unity of Miami instead of Unity of Merritt Island? Well, I'm ignoring it. So I kept going on I-4. And the GPS came on again and rerouted me. And I went, no, I've got the wrong address in there. I'm just going to keep going. And it kept interrupting me, and I kept ignoring it. I went, I'll see something familiar. I'll see something that towards the airport or 528. And I kept going until I realized I was out of Orlando going north. Well, maybe it's time to pull over and check what I punched in. I punched the right place in. And the GPS knew exactly where I needed to go. But I thought I knew better. I wasn't going to listen. I wasn't going to follow that voice. Our inner GPS works the same way. The GPS in our phones and our cars, it's been around since about the year 2000. But that inner GPS, that's what Jesus tapped into over 2,000 years ago. That's what our ancestors tapped into. They could tell when there was danger around. They could tell what the weather was going to do, where to find food and water. They didn't need social media, smartphones, or Google, did they? I found a story about a wilderness camp, and where they took the students out into the woods blindfolded, and then they took the blindfolds off, and they were supposed to find their way back. But what happened was, once the blindfolds came off, there was nothing familiar around them. And they felt lost. So they got upset. They got frustrated. They got anxious. They panicked. And the instructor told them, okay, just calm down. Tune in. Pay attention. And when they did, they found their way out. My father was a coon hunter. Anyone know what that is? Some of you do. He went hunting at night. He never took a compass with him. He certainly didn't have a cell phone or a GPS with him. He tuned in, and he always found his way out. He never got lost. Our lives today are so stimulated by information coming to us from all directions, right? Wherever we are. And so we get overloaded. And then we believe, then we think that we have to pay attention to these directions out here. That's what we have to follow. We have to pay attention to what someone else is telling us how to do it, what the news is telling us how to do it, what the outer world is telling us how to do it. We think that's where we're supposed to turn for our guidance. But like the students in that wilderness camp, I'm okay until everything's familiar, right? But when life starts looking a little unfamiliar, what happens? I feel lost. I get anxious. I get scared. I panic. And our body signals that, doesn't it? It releases adrenaline. Our heart rate goes up. Our pulse rate goes up. Our blood pressure increases. Have you been there? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to never feel lost in life again? We can do that. All we have to do is stay calm, tune in, and like Bo's saying, put our life in park, take out our roadmap, see where we are and where we want to be. Connect to our inner GPS and ask our soul to take us there. We have to listen to that inner voice and not ignore it. Not think, I know better than that inner guidance. Because just like the car's GPS, even if I go off course, my inner GPS will keep correcting. And so I need to trust it to adjust my route. I read this story about a woman who had a fender bender. No one got hurt, but her car got kind of banged up. And she looked at it and she wondered, what am I supposed to learn from this? There wasn't any obvious wake-up call about it. She wasn't texting, she wasn't speeding, she wasn't putting on makeup, she wasn't on the phone. And so after she thought about it, she realized what had happened. She hadn't trusted her inner guidance. Because as she was driving along, she came to a construction site. And she got this feeling that she should stop and wait for the construction workers to finish what they were doing. But she ignored it. And she kept going. And as she was passing the site, one of the workers, you know those great big, like dump trucks, heavy dump trucks, opened the truck and it slammed right into her car. Her awareness was to pay more attention to that inner voice. It wouldn't have taken long to stop and wait. So how often have you not followed your inner GPS? Stayed when you should have left? Gone when you should have stayed? Trusted when your inner guidance said, be careful. Or not reacted in a time when you should have stayed calm. That inner guidance, that inner GPS is very persistent. Now, often it's not logical. It's not rational. You might think you're a little crazy to follow it. And your mind goes, oh yeah, but what if? But what if this happens? And I think I should trust, again, the outer world. I think I should trust someone else's advice instead of that wisdom inside of me. When I listen, when I follow that inner GPS, I am led to spectacular places. wonderful things happen in my life. So how do we do this? Dan? We do it one step at a time. Our GPS, that global positioning system, has satellites all there, right? And they view the whole big picture down here. They see the bigger picture. So when I punch my route in, they know exactly where I am, where I have to go. And that can calculate the exact position and plot my perfect course. Now that voice that comes on the GPS gives us one direction at a time, doesn't it? Just what I need to know at that time. First do this. Once this is done, it tells you what to do next. All I have to do is listen to the voice and follow instructions, not ignore it like I did. Our inner GPS. Some people say God positioning system. We can make up names for it. It sees the bigger picture of my soul's journey. It knows exactly where we are on our soul's journey. It knows what we need to know. It knows where we need to go, and it plots our course perfectly. And it guides us quietly, firmly. You might notice messages appear, we ignore them, and then they reappear. They don't show up. Messages from our inner GPS don't show up as an alarm. If we get a message and we feel afraid or scary, know that that's coming from the mind, it's coming from the ego, and you can tell because you'll feel a tightness, you'll feel a constriction. But when it's coming from our inner guidance, you'll feel an awareness of openness. You'll feel a certain expansiveness around it. And then you watch, and people and events will show up as a catalyst to your next step. You might be walking down the street and overhear a stranger's conversation, and it's exactly what you need to hear at that moment. You might see a sticker, bumper sticker on a car, saying exactly what you need to know at that moment. Or there's a sign outside. Maybe, all these churches have signs on them. You might go by and find the message you need. Or you're reading a book and the line just jumps out of the book. And for some of us it comes from nature. We may have something on our mind. We may need guidance for something. And we might be sitting outside and a gust of wind just comes at the right time. I've had this happen. And all of a sudden there's a clarity. I know for some people certain birds mean something to them, or dragonflies or butterflies. And maybe I'm asking a question and we were sitting at our kitchen table the other day, and all of a sudden a cardinal just appeared right there, my mother's bird. You've had that happen, right? Those are the things. Don't push them away. They're gentle reminders of who we are, of where we're going, of what our soul came here to do. And when they show up, there's a joy, there's an excitement, and there's a boldness to our next move. It's just so normal for us to want to know, okay, what's down this way? Where am I going? Where am I being led? And that's what we're asked to let go of. Just like when we trust the GPS. We let go of that and we trust. Always know that your inner guidance is sending you on your perfect destination. We have a quote, Martin Luther King. Dan, do you have that? Take the first step in faith. When that message nudges you, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Isn't that how we climb a stair? One step at a time. The second thing is no limits and no judgments. So when you tap into that car phone GPS, there's no limit on where you can tell it to go, right? You might want to go to the next town. You might want to go to the next state. You might want to go cross country. It takes you there, doesn't it? And you trust it. We can go from here to the west coast of California with that GPS. And we trust it. Our inner GPS has no limits on where it takes our soul. It doesn't question, it doesn't doubt. It meets us where we are, and it responds to the soul's deepest intention. And it guides us from there, even if we don't know what our soul's intention is. If I make a wrong turn, it recalibrates, just like the car GPS does. And it's only later, if I follow that direction, if I follow that guidance, it's only after that that I realize, oh my gosh, it was taking me the perfect place. This is exactly where we're supposed to be going. So how many of you have had that maybe feeling in here or in here, and you hesitated, you doubted? Yeah. So I'm inviting you the next time, give it your utmost attention. Give it more attention than anything you give in the outer world. You may meet people that you never would have met. You will have experiences that you never would have had. And you will understand later that was exactly where you were supposed to be. In Psalms 32:8, Scripture reads, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. Take a breath. Own that. Know that guidance is always within you. And so first, we have to take a step. Then we know there's no limits in judgment. And the third one is our power of intention. In order for that GPS to help, when I get in the car, I have to tell it where I am. I have to tell it where I want to go. And in the busyness of life, I've lost touch with doing that. I've lost touch with telling my soul and asking my soul where it wants to go, where it needs to go, for my highest good, for my soul's journey here. So I spend my life driving recklessly, defensively, reacting to the world, lost. What I've really lost is touch with my inner wisdom, with my inner knowing, with that soft voice of spirit that speaks all the time. I've lost touch with my deeper inner calling. Can you feel it? You know it's there. And sometimes we've got so much world stuff on it, we can't feel it anymore. We forgot. And this is why quiet time is so important. And we live someplace so wonderful, beach walks. Oh my goodness. You want to get in touch. Just walk and walk and walk until all the thinking goes from your mind. And you will feel and you will hear that whisper from your soul. Your inner GPS knows your soul's desire, even if you don't. Even if you have so much of the world covering it up, you can't hear it anymore. Jesus told us, ask and it will be given you, search and you will find, knock and the door will be open. I shared with you a few weeks ago that I just read the book, The Alchemist. We have a quote from that. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. Close your eyes for a minute. And just take a breath. Go way down within and feel. You'll find a feeling there. You'll find your soul's desire there. You'll find what your soul wants next. And it's usually not a thing. It's usually a feeling. I want to feel more love. I don't want to feel as alone. I want to feel comforted. I want to feel strong. I want to be healed. I want to feel healed. Just without thinking. Notice the feeling in your body. Notice what your soul is saying. Just take a breath and open your eyes and know that your journey is unfolding. And if you say yes, it'll unfold in ways you can't even imagine. Just stay present. Stay in the present moment as much as you can. Take one step at a time and know there are no limits to where your soul's journey will lead you. So this week, I have something for you to do. Pay attention to when you feel frustrated, when you feel anxious, when you're feeling lost. And when you do, pull over, put your life in park, take out your roadmap, see where you are, see where you want to be, and ask your soul to take you there, and then trust that inner GPS to guide you. God bless you.